Eevee's journey began within the confines of the space colony Ark, a technological marvel that served as a cradle for scientific ambition and, unknowingly, a harbinger of destruction. Born from a clandestine project fueled by desperation and fueled by the fusion of Voltorb's DNA and cutting-edge technology, Eevee was never intended to be the cuddly mascot frequently portrayed in sanitized narratives. Rather, its creation birthed a creature of immense power and unyielding vengeance. The true nature of Eevee, however, was far from the innocent facade propagated by misguided attempts to soften its image. The initial stages of Eevee's existence saw a unique bond between the Pokémon and Galleon, a connection forged amidst the sterile environment of the space colony Ark. However, this tender moment was short-lived, as the clandestine nature of Eevee's origins and the looming presence of Voltorb foreshadowed a dark destiny. Events escalated when details of Project V leaked, unleashing pandemonium and resulting in an assault on the space colony Ark by the GUM, Global Military Unit. The ensuing chaos marked a turning point, plunging Eevee into a vortex of loss, trauma, and a relentless quest for vengeance. Sealed away for 50 years, Eevee's imprisonment only intensified its dark energies. Upon its escape, a torrent of destruction was unleashed upon the world. Eevee's reign of terror was swift and brutal, leaving a trail of devastation and shattered lives in its wake. The casualty count soared into the millions, encompassing both humans and Pokémon alike. The innocent were not spared, with infants, toddlers, preschoolers, teenagers, adults and the elderly all falling victim to Eevee's wrath. Eevee's actions transcended mere battles. They were acts of calculated destruction, leaving a wake of fear and anguish. Eevee's attacks were rarely characterized by mere incapacitation. Instead, death was the most common fate of its victims. Eevee systematically destroyed its victims' vital organs, resulting in irreversible organ failure and, ultimately, death. This was not accidental. It was a deliberate act of cruelty, reflecting Eevee's relentless pursuit of vengeance and its utter disregard for life. In the face of such ruthless efficiency, the world's perception of Eevee shifted from curiosity to sheer terror. The horrifying consequences of Eevee's actions extended far beyond the physical realm. The constant fear of Eevee's unpredictable actions created an atmosphere of perpetual dread. Sleepless nights plagued the populace, and the shadow of Eevee loomed large in the collective consciousness. Therapists, particularly in regions like Kalos, adopted a cautious, even fearful, stance toward Eevee, recognizing the profound psychological damage it inflicted. The sheer scale of the trauma spurred widespread emotional turmoil, including anxiety, anger, nervousness, and emotional pain. The relentless news coverage fueled a cycle of fear, creating a constant undercurrent of stress and despair. Eevee's attacks had catastrophic environmental consequences. The deaths of countless Pokémon species disrupted ecosystems, leading to biodiversity loss and the collapse of food chains. Habitats were irrevocably altered, and the psychological trauma inflicted on surviving Pokémon affected their reproduction and survival rates. The ramifications extended far beyond the immediate victims, triggering an ecological imbalance with long-term consequences. The pervasive myth portraying Eevee as a cute and cuddly mascot is a dangerous misrepresentation. This false narrative attempts to gloss over the reality of Eevee's ruthless actions. Efforts to soften its image only serve to obfuscate the truth, masking the true nature of a creature whose power challenges the very fabric of the Pokémon universe. This sanitization of Eevee's actions is a dangerous oversimplification that downplays the extent of its atrocities. The world must confront the reality of Eevee's actions. Understanding its motivations is the first step in addressing the crisis it has created. Communities need to develop strategies to mitigate the devastating effects of Eevee's presence, offering support to those who have been psychologically scarred by its actions. The tale of Eevee serves as a cautionary reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the devastating consequences of power wielded without morality. Until Eevee's nature is understood, and its wrath is quelled, the world will continue to suffer under its shadow.